attributes it takes to succeed in life and actually in the creative industries is timeliness, right? Imagine if you made a film and everyone thought it was coming out on the 1st of September and they arrive at the cinema, hey, there's no film. Doesn't work, does it? Stonebwoy says his new album is coming out 1st of February. You go to listen to it, it's not there. So actually, I think that timeliness is really key. And so I want you guys to kind of really celebrate the fact that you've arrived here. And please do not take the fact that we have started slightly late to mean in any way, shape, or form that early arrival is not appreciated, an on-time arrival, okay? So I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. We all are very grateful for you being here. We're going to get started and everyone else can join us. And I think we can actually make that the mantra for our careers. We shall start on collecting the money and doing the work. And when they are ready, they can join us. Is that okay? Are you sure? Yeah, I think we should get started. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to start with some opening remarks, okay? These opening remarks are going to come from a woman that I personally absolutely adore. I love her. I feel like she's my personal blessing. I tell her all the time. Because not only is she just a lovely person, she's actually a reverend, and she's the first female, and we're at WICA, so we care about those women, first female president of the Institute of Directors, Ghana. Exactly, right? Now, first are important. We obviously care about first because we're here for the launch of WICA. So we really thought it'd be really poignant for Angela to come up and give an opening address and perhaps even add a small anecdote of how you got there, Angela. Is that okay? Could you please come up? Can we put our hands together for Angela? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I couldn't have been at a better gathering. When I was asked to do this, I was thinking, what else does a woman want to hear? As for the men who are on our side, whether they stand by our side or behind us or in front of us, they do know the value of women. They may not say it, but they know. The question now is, us, the women, do you really know who you are? I said I couldn't have been at a better gathering because to talk about women in creativity is to talk about the heartbeat of God. The Creator himself, who after showcasing his masterpiece, said there was a but. But everything super, good, good, good. But there was a but, one but. And he did not consult with any man, even though the man was there. He knocked him out so that he doesn't think or rationalize. And he brought out his masterpiece, the final, the only, and that is you. So as a reverend minister, I do not take pride in counseling men. My pride is in counseling women to know who they really are so that they do not miss the point. The point is not in rubbing shoulders. That's what. Ours is to solve problems, and he made us to solve problems. Can you imagine a PA of the first CEO of the entire universe? This CEO didn't go for any interviews to be selected. He was made for the job. But the but came. After it all was that special person that is the woman. When she came out, the CEO himself said, wow. he said, this is indeed, because he did not consent to it. He was knocked out, you remember? Those who believe in creation stories. He was knocked out. He didn't have a choice. He didn't have a voice. But when he came back to consciousness, he said, wow, this is. And you know the story. So when the world is going amok, a mess, no shape, no form, find that woman. I'm very passionate about speaking to women because I find that usually women are being socially misguided to forget who they really are. We are problem solvers. That is why even in governance circles, there's now conversations not about being equal, but about board parity. Those lenses that were created to see things, to smell things, to feel things differently. And that is why I couldn't be at a better place. Tonisha always asks, how did you become the first female president of a male-dominated environment? The Institute of Directors, Ghana. It's about appreciating who I am. I'm not there to rub shoulders, but to bring my value, my unique skills, what God gave that is different, unique to a man. And if we learn to do this properly, you get all of the energies of the man running with your energies, and you solve problems. Men don't give birth. It's women who give birth, and they nurture. That is why Kwejiri Agri of blessed memory said in his wisdom, to educate a man is to educate an individual. But to educate a woman, you educate a nation. Can you imagine having all the money, all the beauty, all the wisdom, and you have an illiterate wife? It's like leaving your children to a house help who doesn't know jack. They take her values, they speak her language, and then where are you in all of the grooming, in all of the nurturing? Your voice is not there. Your values are not there because you entrusted to another. So this is something that is on my heart. I am fully committed to this thing. And I am hoping that in nurturing, we will nurture differently. In running the race, we'll run in our race, in our track, not running in somebody's tracks. Run your own race, run in your tracks, and get the awards. That's how he made us. Not to run anybody's race, not to downplay anybody, not to roll eyebrows, not to have sharp tongues. No, to solve problems. And you can solve problems even in silence. Solve problems. And it's a gift, just like a product you have been given. And I'm happy to have sat by her, who is telling me all the stories about evolving, becoming. And she's speaking about it so passionately. And I'm enjoying those positive energies. So I told her, Irabana, how do you create many of your kind? And I believe that by the time we finish this launch, you will know who you are as a product, which features are embedded in you that you have not even explored, just like our phone. I used to just answer, sometimes do WhatsApp, and yet there are so many other features that I'm now beginning to learn, thanks to Tonisha, all the AIs. I'm learning all of them morning, afternoon, evening, because I want to find everything that is possible, and that is a woman. You can marry a woman 50 years and not know who she really is. Only God does. Somebody who can talk back to God, who can debate with the devil, who can say, I don't want this, I want that. Give her eyebrows, she wants something else. Give her nails, she's putting something else there. Look into her bag. She has plan B, C, D, E, F. Wow. We will find everything that the Lord puts in us as products, embedded ones, coded ones, and birth them to create a beautiful world where men, children, generations to come will be proud, and Papa God himself will be super proud. Thank you very much.
Wow, right? Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much, Angela. Did you like that? Did you get Angela's point? I think it's just so special. I think Angela's point is so right, and especially in the creative industries, you know, one of the real barriers to creativity, in fact, the journey to entrepreneurship, most creative people are in essence an entrepreneur, even if they work in an organization. The journey to entrepreneurship is self-discovery. And we can never really create our own unique outputs if we don't even know what makes us unique, right? I'll give you a very good example. We're going to have a short panel soon. And we're going to be joined by Rosalind, who runs the Africa Dyslexia Organization. Because Rosalind figured out about herself, about her journey, that she was dyslexic, understood how it made her feel. Rosalind has used those experiences that are unique to her to create her organization that now supports people who she resonates with, right? And it's the same thing with music. It's the same thing with art. It's the same thing with fashion. And the thing is, very often people confuse creativity for, you know, the things that, you know, make us shake and dance. But actually, creativity is important in every aspect of day-to-day life, because in order to plan a day multiple times, we have to be creative. Who was stuck in traffic on the way here and had to be creative about how they got here? I can see the smiles, right? Creativity is key. When you're dealing with someone, you present them with a challenge, and they come back to you and they say, I couldn't do it. Don't you look at them and think, you couldn't come up with an idea, right? So creativity is more than just drawing. And the fundamental aspects of creativity we do on a day-to-day basis are the key to a successful and happy life, right? So, of course, we are lucky to be here today because Miss Sandra Quay decided that she wanted to create something, right? She has created it, and we are here for the first day for the launch. I am so excited to be here in 10 years. I'm just gonna put my finger out that I plan to host the 10-year anniversary. Right? We'll be here in 10 years. Because the continent of Africa pushes out so much creativity. So much creativity. But we do a couple of things. We don't understand that we are doing creativity. We don't protect our creative ideas. We talk, we share. We're just so excited because it comes so naturally to us. We're the last people to benefit from our creativity. And that's not just here. African people in America are complaining. The other day, I don't know who listens to hip-hop. I don't, but I do like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was complaining that they don't get paid enough, right? The labels will make the streaming platforms encourage you to sign to their label, then encourage you to put it on the streaming platform. And by the time you end up with any money, it's like a penny, or a peswa, or a naira. It's useless. So we have to, as women, as people, come together and be creative about how we solve that problem, while also putting out more creativity into the world, not shy away from it, right? So I think that Miss Sandra Quay needs to come up here. Come here. Let us look at her, let us admire her, and let us hear from her about why this organization was started. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow. What an honor to be amongst women, women who create, women who know their place as God has ordained. Thank you so much, Reverend, for bringing God and inviting God to be part of this event today. Your opening remarks is very much well received because we do need God, who is our creator. Thank you for reminding us that we are women who are God's product, and God is the one that we are made in his image to be able to create. So I'll just give an introduction to the program, to the event. What is WICA about? Who are we? What are we, what are our objectives, and where are we heading with this whole new thing called WICA, WICA Foundation, Women in Creativity Africa. So once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed dignitaries, and honored delegates. On behalf of the Women in Creativity WICA Organizing Committee, it is my great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each of you to this inaugural WICA 2024 conference. Indeed, it is a tremendous honor to have you with us as we launch WICA Foundation. Today's event is in partnership with the African Freelancers College, aka TAF College, and the Ghana chapter of the G100 Media, Arts and Communication Wing. And the event marks the beginning of a transformative journey dedicated to reshaping the creative landscape for women across Africa. Your presence here today is a testament of the importance of the work we are undertaking together, and we are deeply honored to have you join us. This year's theme for WICA is not a mistake. We've themed it Bridging Borders, Breaking Barriers, and there's a reason for that. We need to address the critical issue of women's underrepresentation in the creative industry. As we come together to share insights, forge new collaborations, and confront these pressing challenges, I am confident that this conference will serve as a vital platform for innovation and progress. We've heard what creativity means to many. Creativity is a universal force. It does transcend borders, languages, and backgrounds. Yet, we all have experienced in one way or another that there are systemic barriers that have disproportionately impacted women of color in the creative professions in Africa particularly and beyond. The WICA Foundation therefore seeks to nurture, empower, and celebrate the resilience, talent, and innovation of creative African women, serving as a catalyst for transformative change in their lives and careers. Our mission is to redefine and elevate the perception of the creative industry for African women. We aim to challenge and transform the outdated belief that women who pursue careers in the creative sector are less educated, or that their work is merely a transient means to an end. We've heard and experienced some of these unfortunate statements being said about women in creativity. So WICA is therefore committed to dismantle such systemic barriers. We're going to drive transformative change and align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We believe that creativity is not just a profession, but a powerful force that drives innovation, cultural enrichment, and societal progress. Our goal is to showcase the depth of skill, knowledge, expertise required to excel in the creative field. By doing so, we strive to demonstrate that careers in the creative industry are not only legitimate and respected, but also are essential to the growth and dynamism of our society. Our vision is a world where creative women are integral contributors to the global creative community, celebrated for their resilience, innovation, and diversity. We have 4 pillars at WICA, and these are founded on the following: objectives, which are education. So we are providing tuition-free education and financial support to 50 African women pursuing creative careers each year. Thank you to Tufts College, who are working with us tirelessly to identify 50 women each year to be in the Tufts College and receive tuition-free education. It is a challenge in itself, as women need to be able to step up and come forward and know that there is education, quality education, that is available to them to be able to take off in their creative or chosen niches. Mentoring and industry collaboration is also a pillar. We will be creating partnerships that offer customized internships, training, and mentorship opportunities. We are looking to support with financial freedom in the area of financial freedom, fostering entrepreneurship skills to promote economic independence. And of course, my area in health and well-being, organizing World Health Shops, talks, and other related activities to support overall well-being, particularly mental wellness in women in the creative arts. So what is ahead? What are we looking forward to? So this is an extraordinary time to be a woman in creativity, particularly in Africa, where women are increasingly breaking barriers and leading in various creative industries. In recent years, female creators are rewriting the script and indeed have bridged borders and broken barriers. Women such as our very own Gifty Auntie, Akosia Ajapong, Natalie Ford, and many others who are here or who will join us shortly, who are powerhouses, they're trailblazers who have paved way for us to be here today. A way not forged with silver and gold, but with hard work, sweat, and tears. And we look forward to hearing from you with regards to these, the way that, or the journey that you have gone to get us to where you are today. Going against the status quo, where persistent stereotypes and misconceptions about the creative industry being male-dominated further discourage creative African women from entering and advancing in this. ZFM Multimedia, Cowrie, Ebony Alexa, Joy Multimedia, and in believing in our vision and partnering with us. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to WICA Conference 2024.
Fee-free courses. Did anyone hear that? Clap for that. That's intense. You realize that studying programs for the creative industries is actually one of the most expensive programs to study. The creative industries, and I think even the sciences, those two are really, really, really complicated to get to. For example, film. People go to film school, right? To learn to play instruments. People don't go to university, they go to special organizations. So the very idea someone's going to be able to fund, or WICA's going to be able to fund, someone to have an opportunity to study something that grows their creative skills is amazing. I took a moment to Google the creative industries. I wanted to ask, does anyone know what we mean when we talk about creative industries? Like, what kind of thing is in the creative industry? Shout it out. What's in the creative industry? Louder, please. That was correct. Louder. What is something people do in the creative industries? Music. Exactly. What else? Pardon? Arts. Filmmaking. Interior decoration. Balloon decoration. You see? Balloon decoration. Fashion. Writing. Go on. Poetry. You know what else is a really creative skill? Dancing, raising children is a really creative skill. Because those little people are creative, right? It's like Angela said, it's like they came out of the womb really creative. And we only survive those little people if we're creative. Otherwise, we soon know who's in charge. Our sisters, our brothers, our nieces, our nephews. Attempt to babysit someone's child and you will really realize you need to be more creative, right? So the definition of the creative industries, believe it or not, is a range of economic activities that are concerned with the generation and commercialization of creativity, ideas, knowledge, and information, right? So if you have creativity, ideas, knowledge, and information, and you just sit in your house and not trademark it, don't write it down, don't share it, that's just, I guess, life. The moment you say, no, this is valuable to somebody, and you begin to commercialize it, it fits into the creative industries. Isn't that amazing? So think about all of the times in your life where you have had an idea and someone has tried to put it down, when in reality, the only thing that will turn it into success is your decision to commercialize it. That is the only thing that puts it into the creative industries. And as long as you listen to the naysayers, it never becomes something in the creative industry. It just stays something in your head. Isn't that crazy? If you think about it, if you look up the definition of science, of accounting, it's not as broad. But the creative industries is a catch-all. It tells you, make a choice, and stick by it, and put a price on it, and you have entered the creative industries, right? Amazing. So before we move forward, I actually would like us to play a quick video from TAF. Is the video ready, everyone? Yes? I'd like us to play a quick video from TAF, and then following the video, we should be hearing from Mr. Mark Addo, who is the chairman of the ATB Trust Foundation, all right? But first, we're gonna hear from some students who have actually made the decision and embarked on the journey at TAF. Please play the video.
I have a vision that has the power to change the trajectory of many lives in Africa. My name is Reverend John. Welcome to TAF College. TAF College, an applied business school for creative people, which develops individuals into world-class freelancers. An institution where dreams come alive and creativity burdens. At TAF College, we believe in the boundless potential of every individual, the power of their imagination, and the ability to make an indelible mark in society. In a world plagued by unemployment and unlimited opportunities, we have embarked on a journey to provide a different pathway, a path where creativity and entrepreneurship goes hand in hand. At TAF College, we are just not an educational institution. We are a beacon of hope, igniting the flames of possibility within every student. Our dedication in empowering individuals has culminated in a joint partnership with HUXA in an initiative we call Lifeline for Africa. Lifeline for Africa is more than a program. It is a movement that celebrates the gifts and talents of those in the creative arts. It's a platform that allows dreams to take flight and destinies to be fulfilled. One of our flagship initiatives launching in September is Tech for Girls, a shining example of the transformative impact we can make. It empowers girls to unleash their full potential in the world of technology, nurturing a new generation of coders and AI prompt engineers who will shape the future of technology. The time is now to ignite a spark of creativity, to inspire change, and to leave a lasting legacy. Together we can shape the future where impossibility becomes reality. We believe in the power of creativity to bring about change in the lives of men.
Right. Rather than me coming up, I already told you we were going to hear from Mr. Mark Addo, but first, I'd like us to really clap for some of those students. I see that we have some people from TAF here. So clap for them and clap for yourself if you're one of those people and I haven't yet acknowledged you. Oh, you're not happy for yourself? Okay, don't clap for yourself. It's okay. You know the first clap we need will always come from who? Who the first clap we need to come from? Ourselves. If we're not prepared to represent ourselves, respect ourselves, like our work, how will we explain the value of our creativity to someone else? We can't, right? So every time someone says clap for yourself, you don't really need a good reason. As long as your hands will do it. Okay, clap for yourself. Always clap for yourself, every morning. In fact, I'm going to give you homework every morning for the rest of the week. When you wake up in the morning, the first time you see your reflection, I want you to do what? Clap for yourself. Good. Right, so I'd like to introduce, as I said before, Mr. Mark Addo, the chairman of the ATB Trust Foundation, to the stage.
Hello, good evening. My name is Mark Addo. I'm here to support Women in Creativity Africa. But just for the formalities, Reverend Okwei, Mrs. Sandra Okwei, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I'm hoping that in the next 3 minutes or 5 minutes, I'll be able to synthesize exactly everything so that when I walk away, you'll have an idea what I said. Usually when I go to these functions, I don't remember anything. Guess it comes with old age. So ATB Trust Fund basically stands for its annual Telekubo Kazo. These are two communities in the Western region in Elembele districts. This is my past life in mining. We set up this trust fund to help the community as a legacy kind of trust fund. We have about just under $20 million investment, but by being a private trust fund, we have the luxury of investing offshore and onshore. So even though we got burned a little bit by DDEP, everybody got burned, but anyway, we're still alive. So we do a lot of things. We've done a lot of projects. We've funded schools. We funded infrastructure. We built bridges. We built reticulated water for the communities. We are going to build a kindergarten structure for the communities. We build housing for nurses, midwives, and teachers, and all that stuff. But to me, the most important thing that I'm really proud of are two. The first one is that we sponsor about 40 needy but brilliant students every year in through several levels of education in the communities. And then this year we added 20 kids at Taft College. So thank you. Out of the 20 that we brought, 14 are women or ladies, girls, we could say. And of the 14, 9 of them are into fashion, 5 into cosmetology, and 1 is real estate. What excites me about this is that at the end of the day, we brought them from far up in the Western region. We rented apartments for them here. Um, we provide them weekly stipends, as well for the upkeep. And the plan is that when they finish the program, we also provide them seed money so that if they choose to go. Thank you so much. But to think about it, this is the little that we could do to help them. This is the least that we could do to help. I mean, for me, it's just when you talk about creativity or women in creativity in Africa, the most important thing for me is for them to really go beyond the basics that we've given them. Because you think of it as more like if you're educating an engineer, for example, it takes diligence and it takes commitment, it takes a lot of hard work, the ability to go beyond that curiosity of yourself to really find yourself and to be really a perfectionist. You should be looking for continuous evolvement, continuous, grinding day in and day out to be a perfectionist, because it's the only way that you'll be recognized, right? And that stems from creativity. I was reading a book by this English doctor called Dr. Ken Robinson. It's called Out of Our Minds. And if you get a chance to read that book. And if you think about education, when I was growing up, or some of us were growing up in the old days, as to we're all pigeonholed in some kind of box. Engineers have to be like this, doctors have to be like that, teachers have to be like this. And if you step out now in the world that we live in today, and who would have ever imagined that we would have Google 50 years ago? Who in the world would have imagined that we have Apple in 50 years ago? So the solutions that we need has to come out of creativity, because our population is growing so fast. The book talks about the fact that in the next 20 years, about 65% of the population will be in the inner cities. So we need new ways of finding solutions to everything that we do. And that's why this thing is so important. My expectations by funding these projects, and we plan to do it every year, another 20 or even more as we can. But the expectations for us, or for me and the trustees, is to ensure that the girls go beyond what they've acquired. If I have to make a call to Nelly at Duabasewa or Aisha at, what's the name, that other company. Anyway, for them to take further training or further exposure or further internship, so be it, so that they can even acquire more and improve their skills and hopefully they can achieve whatever the dreams that they're looking for. That's all I have to say. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, this seems like the place to be. Up next, you can tell somebody really wants my microphone. Hey, calm down. Okay, I'll pass you on to Reverend John.
Now, I was not meant to be on talking, but this is a good man. Come on, put your hands together. Come on. We were literally on our knees, and we did not know how we were going to start this year. There was no funding coming in. And I met this man a year ago right here. He was doing a panel. And I went to him and I said, come and see. And when he came, this is what he said. For those who don't understand Tree, that's your problem. I said, Rev, don't worry, Mebwao. My wife is looking at me wondering what did I say, and her best friend as well. They from Zimbabwe, by the way. It means I would help you. And that's exactly what he did. You know, it's so easy
for people to make promises. Well, but he's a man who fulfilled his promise. And I'm here to let you know that if it wasn't for him this year, Top College would have been closed. And we would not be here even talking about the WICA Foundation. So guys, could you please stand up on your feet and clap for this man over here and just say thank you, and thank you once again. And of course, to all our sponsors as well. I'll come to you. Please be seated.
Thank you. Listen, I told you it was going to be a good evening. Were any lies told? Were any lies told? No. This evening gets better and better and better and better by the moment. Now, as we're in a moment of gratitude and hearing from those that support us, we are which building is this? Which building is this? The British Council, right? So, up next, we are going to hear from Ajua Precious from the British Council. Are we not lucky? Lucky, lucky us.
Good evening, everybody. Our protocols observed. Welcome and thank you for sharing your Friday evening with us here at the British Council. Tonight has promised to be a wonderful one, a night of empowerment. The British Council is very interested in supporting women in creatives, women who are in the art space. And this year marks the 80th anniversary of the British Council in Ghana. Oh, I thought you'd give it up for us. Yes. A significant impact of our work in education, skills, enterprise, the creative and cultural space is evident with growing support to those who have been part of this success. The British Council, through the arts and culture portfolio, seek to provide avenues in various arts forms, including film, music, fashion, and literature, to educate, engage, and provide opportunities for creatives to share their work, and such will be witnessed tonight. I'd like to use this opportunity to share some significant impact the British Council has provided to young Ghanaian creatives, especially women in the creative space. In the music strand, that is, 2 musical professionals were supported to attend the Great Escape Festival this year in 2023. These opportunities seek to create synergy and learning of the best practice to support the Ghanaian creative economy. This year, as part of our 80th anniversary, the Telecel Ghana Music Award on Song category is supported with a grant to promote the work of building musical artists, build their creative and business acumen, and provide market access to young music creatives. And between 2022 and 2024, 3 creatives in the literature space were supported to attend the Cheltenham and Momentum festivals in the UK. Alternatively, a 13-member delegation from the UK, Uganda, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Wales joined their Ghanaian counterparts last year for the Pager Festival as part of Accra World Book Capital event. I'm sure some of you were here to witness that event. Other connections built for creatives to work with their UK counterparts included the London Fashion Week and Liverpool Creators Training for visual artists. Through our Creative Enterprise Support Program, 60 film creatives were provided training, incubation, and acceleration to sharpen their skills and are now doing amazingly well. They're creating jobs for other people in the country. An example is the Accra Indie Festival, which happened from July 29th to August 1st and 2nd here at the British Council as well. Now, there's a growing call from creatives to the British Council. This is where we are calling on development partners, people in the embassies, people in the creative space to come and work with us in forms of partnership to support creatives so that they can leverage on this our support to work, to build their capacities. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoy this evening and pick one or two knowledge from our panelists that would share their amazing journey and experiences with us. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think it's about time we had a conversation. Would you like to talk? Do you have questions? I can't hear you. Do you have questions? Were there things you wanted to know when you came here today? Really, John? You are in 10 minutes, you have to sit in the corner. So put your hand up if you came here today because you wanted to know something, wanted to learn something. Okay. Put your hand up if you came here today for item 14. Right, so we obviously all came for something, right? Right? Good, thank you. Throw that voice across the room. Throw it. Throw it. So what we're going to do is we're going to be creative with our panel. We have a panel now. So we're going to be very creative with our panel. You know what we're going to do? We are going to put the panelists up on the stage, and you will ask the questions, right? Too often we go to events, people sit, they talk, like, okay, it was okay, but that's not what I came to hear, right? So today we're not doing that. Today we're going to flip it, all right? So if you already know you have a question, put your hand up. Just your hand, you don't have to ask it. If you already know you have a question, put your hand up. Good, 1, 2, 3. Was that a 4 over there in that beautiful shirt? No, you were just touching your ear. Right? So 3 people have questions. Anyone else? Does anyone want to know anything? No? Very interesting. It's amazing. So many people just get up out their house, go somewhere for no reason. I love it. I love it. When I grow up, I also want to have so much spare time. But for now, we will start the panel. And what I hope is that as they talk, something sparks. And as you think of a question, you ask it. Okay? Take over the panel. Make the most of it for yourself. We're going to be creative. If we get to a total creativity mind block, don't worry. I have a lot of questions. I'm not doing it because we don't have questions. We are prepared. We're doing it because actually we want to make sure that you leave content, knowing at least one thing on your mind was addressed. Is that okay by everyone? Please louder. Is that okay by everyone? Amazing. So let's get started. First off, I would like to introduce our first panelist. I believe 2 chairs are on their way up to the stage. So I would like to introduce our first panelist. Her name is Miss Akosua Ajapong. Oh, gorgeous. Love that. Oh, God. I love this on creativity. You have to see her shoes, guys. Beautiful, right? Oh. Ma'am, those shoes are beautiful. Very creative. In fact, the whole thing. An inspiration to us all. All right. Next up, I'd like to call up Miss Regina Odiji Olatayo. And if I have missaid her name, I have not? Okay, thank God. Yes. Thank you. Do you know what? I think someone did not send me the email about trendy shoes. What's all this? Anyway, we shall continue. Right? The next person I would like to introduce is Miss Rosalind Nyako to the panel. Wow, we are blessed for this panel. Beautiful. And then I would like to introduce Miss Alethea Glover to the stage. Our panelists really did something today, huh? Yes. And last but by no least, I would like to call Miss Reverend Angela Appiah to join the panel. All right? So we're going to have each of the women, we're going to have each of, I'm the one. We're going to have each of us up here introduce ourselves until we are dry for questions. You are the moderators. Do we understand? Is the challenge accepted? You're going to get what you came for, right? When we run dry, I will stand up from my seat and I will take over with questions if we have time. So first off, each of the ladies, we have microphones. We will start off by introducing ourselves. And then once we're done with that, I will go for the first question. Are you ready? Good. Can I get an assistant to help me with the microphone? Perfect. So if you hold this microphone and take it around when someone has a question. Thank you. Please be nice to us, guys. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Distinguished guests, wonderful women in creativity. My name is Regina Odige Olatayo. I'm originally a Nigerian. And I run a media production company called the Cedar Firm Multimedia. And then we have a project called Media Skills for Her, where we organized a workshop for over 130 young women in Ghana. And we've trained them in media skills. So we are scaling that up to the next level to include more technology-based training. So I want to say a very big thank you to Reverend and his wife, Reverend Johnny, and Miss Sandra for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rosalind Abigail Trenate, and I'm the founder of the Africa Dyslexia Organization. However, professionally, I'm a chef. I'm a chef and also a hospitality consultant. However, slowly kind of getting out of that industry. However, we are nurturing students that you usually considered as lazy, dumb, good for nothing because of their inability to perform well in academics. These kids are creative, innovative minds. We have one over here as our founder of TAF College, Reverend Johnny, who is dyslexic. Myself, I'm dyslexic. And I want to tell you the matter of creativity and how it found me. And so I look forward to sharing that journey with you and how I got here. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's a privilege and an honor, and to God be the glory that we are alive to be here. My name is Althea Glover. I love to be called the Great Lady because I believe there's power in the tongue. Whatever you deserve, whatever you admire, wherever you want to be, you can be. I'm the CEO of Treasure Attitude International. I'm also a professional corporate trainer. I'm a customer service consultant. I'm a lecturer at TAF College. I teach customer service. I teach problem solving. I teach creative thinking. I believe that we are not here because we want to be here, but we are here because it's ordained that we'll be here. I'm looking forward to see a lot of things happen today. We are all here to learn, to add to what you have already. And whilst we get out of here, we know the power of God will be demonstrated. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. I think one of our guests has just come in. Can I please I know it, you just arrived. Looking beautiful, must I say. That sequence bag and sequin top, creativity. Not even a square bag, is round. Can I please ask you to come and sit up here for the panel. Yes. Lucky, lucky. It's a good night. It's a good evening. Hmm? Right. I'm so sorry to have interrupted. Please continue. Can we have a round of applause? Can we also at some point have an idea of where that beautiful bag is from? Please continue.
Me opa, ejonya me bo me ba bo me here. Yeah. My name is Akuswe Japan. I'm a musician. I'm an actress. I'm a judge, MC, presenter, marriage counselor, because God says He's giving everything to us, should take it. So I'm taking everything. Okay, I love what I do, and I believe in the God that we serve. He has never failed us. And we spoke about music. And when you look at music, I believe that music is, all right, let me. My sweetheart just came in. She's begging me, but I have a bone to pick with her. So when we talk about music, I love music. I've been in music for 35 years. Yes. And I'm really proud to say I'm a mother of 6, still counting. And I believe in one thing. When you decide to be in something, you should know the meaning of the word and each word and its meaning. So when we come to music, the M is maturity. You should be mature to write good songs. Bob Marley had good songs and his song still lives. Yeah, and so it's maturity, that's the M. You should be unique. The S, a song should be special and sensible. I, it should be interesting. And C, it should be creative. So with me, that's what music means. And anytime I'm among women, I'm really happy to be called to come and talk, because my mom said something and I want to add something up to it. When we talk about women, the W is wisdom. We use wisdom to do everything as women. The O, we organize the home. The M, we're able to maintain and manage what we have. The A, we make sure that we appreciate what God has given us in our home. And the N, as a woman, you should be neat. And this is what I always say about women. So I always say that any word that you come across and you want to use it, make sure that each letter you sit down and create something that will move you forward. Now, if you're a woman, and we talk about women, and your W is wickedness, your O, you're opportunist, your M, you mess things up, and as a woman, and the women, the E, you envy people, and then your N, you are nasty, then you should be out of the name of women. So with me, I do a lot of things, and I believe that today we're going to learn a lot, we are going to do a lot. My name is Akuswe Japan. I like talking. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the energies. So I'm Angela Carmen Apia. My maiden name is Plunge Rule. So coming from a long line, Dutch, slave trade everywhere. But thank God I'm Apia. I'm a proud Apia. I don't get asked questions. Where do you come from? Are you Ghanaian? Yes. So I'm Angela Carmen Apia. My title is Reverend Mrs. So as Tonisha introduced me, I happen to be the first female president for the Institute of Directors Ghana. We talk governance, and we like not just to point the way, but to walk that way. So you know what governance is, ethical leadership, and that's what we do as our mainstay at the Institute of Directors Ghana. I serve as a non-executive director, meaning I don't work inside the institute. I sit on council, and we have a 14-member council. We have 4 women. We are doing amazing well. I have support of great men who believed in me, pushed for me. It's an elective position, it's not an appointive one. And I was not contested because I came in to serve, to bring my unique set of skills as a woman, of listening, of observing, of using all the senses of smell, of sight, of touch, of feel, of appreciating the chemistries, of managing everybody just as you do with your children. And I rose very fast. And I still receive a lot of support. And so where she comes from, not being nasty, being too opinionated, applying wisdom, that is what we are learning now as emotional intelligence. Women have it if we don't do too much of telenovelas, if we don't do too much of that, and we tune into critical thinking and appreciation, it will best what the Lord put in you. So you are quick right from the, who can negotiate with the devil? Did God really say, and they will say this one is mumu. The woman is way ahead, programmed to support, to break down, to bridge, to break barriers. You already have it. So let's put down the telenovelas which are influencing us negatively, even confusing our cultures, and switch on the innate. On my 8 to 5 day job, I sit as an assistant registrar for the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Ghana. My passion is nursing. And people always ask, how did a nurse become a president of IOD? It's the same gifts the Lord gave us. If you nurse well, you can nurse anything. If you operate as a woman, you can operate anything. And so that is just a little about me. I'm happy to be here. God bless us all.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Sharon Dede Paddy, known as Paddy K. I'm an artist by hobby, which I never learned. And I'm an architect by profession and a construction project manager. Thank you. I currently work at Accra Technical University as an assistant development officer. I used to be in charge of the hostels, and as of now, I own a small gallery packed with so much paintings, and that's Padiki Art Gallery. I don't know if you've heard a bit about it. I took a challenge this year, I think it was March, when I did the painting marathon. I just wanted to test my strength and how long I could sit to paint. I was able to do 7 days. Wow. Yes. And I'm a mother of 3, a single mother of 3. And when you look at my paintings, I base more on our culture, our heritage, history, and I believe in passing messages onto our new generations through painting. But one of my main focus is feminism, because I believe in the African woman. Throughout my life, it's not been that smooth in terms of me being a woman. So there are certain things I bring out in my painting, which speaks of the strength of the African woman. Because seriously, let's clap for the African woman. We are strong, very, very strong. And until you are in our shoes, you will never know. Because what we do here is completely different from those outside. The African woman is a homely person, and as of now, most of us are educated. So we have to combine these two things. And mind you, it's not easy. Yes, so it's one of the themes I like bringing out when I paint. Her strength, the beauty of her body, and then our culture as well. So that's the bit I have.
Wow. I think we're about to be spoilt. Who has a question? Let's get started. First question. Good. Oh, you? Okay, the lady behind you. Oh, you've got one as well? Okay.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yes, I'm Mary Naquintera. Yes, a product of Cedar Fem. Her choice, yes. And yes, before I talk, the ladies holding all the cameras we were trained by our madam. Wow. And we cover events and also production for everything. So those that are into business, madam, you can contract us so that we can do more advert for you for free. Thank you. My question is, though, as madam is saying, painting is for men work, there are some jobs that our women, our great ladies that some of you are doing it is for our men. So I want to know, why did you choose to do men work? Because a lot of people look down upon ladies who want to do something good for themselves. It is not easy, especially when you are coming from the background that is shaking, the background that is not good, background that is enyekra. Yes. Nobody understands you. You want to learn. But where is the push you up? So my mothers, my role models, and also the great women, teach us the way how we will start and become great like you. Thank you.
Wow. Before that question is answered, I've just realized I didn't introduce myself. I don't want to be impolite. And the reason I realized it is because actually her question is so poignant for my life. So I will do a brief introduction while the panelists think about if they want to answer, it's not mandatory, and what they want to say, okay? So so for me, my name is Tanisha Tago. If you Google me and look for me on YouTube, you'll find that actually my first career was a film and television producer. Exactly. Oh, you know. I created so much content that there is not a single country in the world where someone hasn't seen something of mine. So did anyone watch the Ozonto video? Seen the Ozonto video years ago? You remember it? They're in London, and the man's tie, Ozonto. Funny story, I used to have a shaved head and blonde hair. And I produced the video. Produced a lot of content for Afrobeats. And so I will answer your question once everyone is finished, but my first career was in film and television. And my second career, which I did all simultaneously in education, which, believe it or not, equally creative and stressful. And then, of course, the third one, I don't know what's wrong with me, I went into entrepreneurship. With education, I became a dean, a man's job. And of course, with entrepreneurship, very often, it's thought that men are better, but in Ghana, we know that women prove every day that they're better. So that's the end of my brief introduction. I will allow everyone else that would like to answer it. And then I'll talk to you more specifically about actually being a woman in the film industry and what I found and what the opportunities I think you have today that weren't available 20 years ago, okay? So does anyone here want to answer this question? Why you picked a man's job? Easy question.
I think the construction I'm doing and the architecture, yes, it looks like a man's job. But looking, it wasn't something of my choice. Like I told you, I'm a born artist. I started very young, but I had to be stopped by my parents to go and read architecture. Yes, I read it. It wasn't what I wanted. On that part, I think I'll bring out an advice that as we grow up, we the parents, we need to give our kids the chance to do what they want to do. Yes, because they will do it much better. Coming back to your question as a man's job. Yes, that is a bit, let's put it in the ancient times, that you will see that as a man's job. But today, I don't think there is any job that is classified as a man's job. Yes. Apart from, yes, apart from just a few things, anything the men are doing, we are being pushed to do. You know, I don't want to add that. Yes. So never put in your mind that something is a man's job. I think once it's something you are interested in, because I wasn't so much into it, although I'm still working with it. I have classmates who had more passion for it, and they were women. And, you know, they are really loving it and doing it to their best. Do you understand? So, yeah, there's nothing like a man's job. Once it's something you love, and that is what you want to do, go ahead. Nothing stops you. Yeah. Okay, I want to add something to what my sister just said. I remember when I started music, way back in 1989. I don't think some of you were even born. My mom she didn't want me to do it because she thought, as she was saying, it's men's job being a musician. And they had different idea about being a musician. Because those days, it's like maybe you start drinking, you start smoking, and a whole lot. But I told myself, and there's one thing I want everybody to know. When you are told not to do something, and you convince your mom or your dad and you do it, don't disappoint them. Don't. One word that I hate in my life is, I told you. No. No. So make sure that me coming into music, honestly speaking, was not easy, because that time we had Irama Bedu and I think in her life, and I was the next, and Asabia Cropper, but they were more into the sax. And so when I came in, I was young. I was only 20 years when I came into music, and actually 18 with the competition I had with Nampedu and others. But honestly speaking, I told myself I was going to do it. And anytime I go on stage, I was so proud of myself because my mom would be sitting right in front there. And the first time on stage, the band, the leader had this white bottle and was pouring it, and everybody was drinking it. And he came to me, I said, what is this? He said, that when you take it, you'll be able to perform. I said, hey. I said, come. You seen the woman sitting there? You don't know. So I didn't take it. I'm saying this to everybody because whatever you start with, you might think that made you. So you continue doing it, and that is wrong. So always be yourself. Because I told myself I was going to make it, and for 35 years, I'm still doing what God. And so make sure that whatever you're doing, there's nothing, don't say men's job, no. God says, whatever you decide to do with me in you and with my help and with prayers, you'll be able to do it. So please, whatever you started doing, don't let anybody discourage you. and where the men no. But don't disappoint whoever you convinced or whoever came to talk to your parents for you to start whatever you're doing. For next time, for not that, for so that they will not say that we told you you can't do it. And friends like saying that you think you can do it. You see now where you are. So make sure that you pray and you tell yourself, I can do it. And I know with God, all things are possible. So there's nothing that is man's job. And I want to correct my sister here. What men can do better. Munya is rough. Nini nani to me better. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me add something to what the intelligent people have said. When you go into the Bible, I believe that every manufacturer has a manual. And with we human beings, our manual is the Bible. It is in the Bible, there's no discrimination of talents, because God didn't give engineering to men, but he shared the talent. So to some he gave 5, to some he gave 3, to some he gave 2. Talents are what we are supposed to live with. Those are our passion. That is what we are supposed to develop to work with it. But unfortunately, most of us are not able to identify our talent, and that is my mission. I am on a mission to help people identify their talent to be able to earn from it. So whatever passion you have cannot be said is for men or for women. Just that maybe the society we belong to, maybe that aspect was dominated by men, doesn't mean it is for men. So the new generation should realize that there's no profession that is strictly for men or for women. Men are doing beauticians, women are being engineers and mechanics, and they are excelling. When we are able to have a paradigm shift, we would do wonders. I just added that.
Okay, so very briefly and very quickly, thank you very much for the advertisement. Okay, so I just quickly want to add to what our wonderful women here have said, because I particularly went into a field recently, maybe in a couple of 2-3 years ago, which is drone piloting. We know that in Africa generally, more men pilot a drone. And I've been a media producer for like 16 years. And so when I started learning and hearing about drone, most people told me that it's just a male thing. And then I started looking at this drone from a distance. I like this machine. I like this. I like to know it. So I said, okay, what would it take for me to learn it? I was in a class, and this person was I told the trainer, I wanted to learn how to pilot a drone. He said, you are the only lady here. There were 17 people, and I was the only lady that wanted to learn a drone. He said, why do you want to learn a drone? You are a lady. I said, is it a gender-based skill? He said, no. I said, then I like to learn it because I love it. And so he said, it's difficult. I said, that is the reason why I want to learn it, because it's difficult. So I took the challenge. It was quite difficult for me, coming from a traditional media training, to begin to learn new technology. But I pushed myself because I loved the machine, and I wanted to make a statement that you can put your heart to something and then give it hard work and come out with anything. And so today, 3 years down the line, I'm piloting a drone. And now I'm mostly called a drone queen, because I've trained many young guys, many young ladies on drone piloting. So anything you set your heart to do, this is the new age. This is the technological age. And internet is at your disposal. You can set your sail, learn the skill, and then begin to go for it. No longer anything is a man's job except fathering a child. Thank you.
Wow. Will you teach us? Will you teach us? So I just want to finish off the last answer to that, purely because I actually experienced exactly that problem in film, specifically because that's what you asked about. And I think that, the thing about me is I have 7 brothers, no sisters. One thing I learned from that is you only know what you know. So there's absolutely no reason to tell yourself because I'm male, because I'm female, this would be good, that would be good. Because most of the time when we have these thoughts about should I get into a male-dominated industry, which is how it's called, not men's jobs, male-dominated industry. That's how we should say it next time, okay? You're literally using a prediction of information you do not have. Nigga. You're usually using a prediction of information you do not have to make a choice for the future that you have not entered. And based on that decision, based on information you do not have about a place you've never been, you push yourself back with an excuse. One excuse is it's a man's job. Another excuse is I don't have the time. So what I wanted to say is that what I found when I got into film is that straight away in the UK film industry is aggressively male-dominated. The men are like builders, right? They're like just tearing through, like there's a cable to tie. Here I see everyone so slowly tying your cables. In the UK, it's like everything is huge, everything is big, everything is fast, everything is strong. And you can see me, I'm not that big, I'm not that fast, I'm not that strong. So I moved myself into the space within that fit my profile, and I became a producer. So the point I'm trying to make is, if a role seems like it's not for you for any reason, don't predict yourself out of it. Analyze it and find the space where you have strengths that will naturally grow, right? And that is all you need to think about. And just like I think Angela said in the beginning, men are not scary creatures. We're not in a competition. In fact, they're trying to get things done. They want to get things done quickly, efficiently, with minimum emotion, just get it done, get out, bum, 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 bum. I mean, it's a generalization, but if you agree with me, say yes. Yeah. So isn't it amazing if in 10 years' time, you can pride yourself to say, I have actually become better at getting things done, focused, with an efficiency, a minimal emotion, and reaching the goal, right? So that is not a gender thing. That is a good thing in life. Just being able to get the task done with minimum emotion. So I wanted to say that because my career in film only grew when I realized there was nothing to do with the gender. It was all to do with my ability to add value, as everyone here has said. And then when I got bored, I actually just stopped anyway. So you follow it through for as long as you want, and you don't worry about when you want to stop, and you just go ahead, all right? So thank you. Now, I think we have exercised our ability to understand how this particular situation is going down. So we have a second question. Could you please ask your question?
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Dr. Jael, and I wanted to ask, what advice would you give to someone coming from a family, a very difficult family, who wouldn't want their kid to pursue what the kid actually wants to do? And also, I want to ask, what advice would you give to someone who would love to multitask, perhaps a multi-talented person who would want to develop all of his or her gifts to use at once? Thank you.
Amazing. Can we have two people answer? I love it. Two people. There we go. I think we should need to make this more of like an exciting challenge.
Yeah,
First
I
two.
think what the first question, with me, I remember because I told earlier my mom was being very difficult. So I decided to go for somebody that was doing what I wanted to do, and somebody my mom actually looked up to, and that was Nana Kwame Ampedu. May he so rest in peace. Because I realized it was difficult to convince my mom. I should go. At that time, computer has just started. Go and do the computer course. So I went to NCR. I asked them the fastest one. They gave me the 1-year course. That's the word processing, and I went ahead to do it. I came back with a certificate and said, "Sister, no school, no." I said, "This is 1-year course." So I realized that she wasn't ready. She was not ready to allow me to go into music. So I had to look for Nana Kwame Ampedu, because if you look for somebody that people respect, somebody that is in the field already doing it, it really helps. So I brought Nana Kwame Ampedu to the house. My mom saw him. In Nana Kwame Ampedu in my house, I said, "Thank God, it's going to work." So my mom said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yes, I'm going to be a father to her. I'm going to train her. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." So my mom said, "Okay, since you've convinced me, please, I've given my daughter to you. Help her to do what she wants to do." Now, if I had sat down waiting for somebody to come and convince my mom, like anybody, like somebody my mom doesn't know, my mom would not allow me to be a musician. And anytime I'm out there performing, she said, "Oh, that's my daughter." I said, "That's your daughter." So she come and you understand? You understand? So please look around, see who is doing what they're doing. If you want to be a presenter or a very good TV presenter, I have my younger sister here, Gifty Auntie. You can actually Nana here, hey Nana. You see, you can go and see somebody. You can see any of us here to go and talk to your mom or your dad. And with that, I mean, they'll be convinced that, oh, okay, then she can do it. But don't sit down there and think that some people leave the house and say, I'm going to do it, and then I told you so will come in. But bringing somebody to come and convince them, come and tell them how good what you want to do will be and what you're going to be in future, and then I think it's going to help. I'll let somebody take the second question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Our parents didn't understand technical skills. That is the creatives. I was a victim of that. Those times when I share my story, I cry, but today I laugh. All I'd wanted to do is to be a movie actor. So I wanted to go to School of Performing Arts. And here it is to laugh. Going to the university, is it for dropouts? My father was bold enough to tell me that course is for dropouts. Then I asked a question, how can a dropout be in the university? I wanted to do Bachelor of Fine Arts. I was talentedly born with acting. Give me a script right now and you'll see a different mood. So I had wanted to develop it. But our time, yes, the yesteryears, not today, we couldn't stand up. Like Akosia was saying, you can't easily convince your parents. The person I brought to convince, I thought the person would be in my favor, end up having all ideas about creativity. And I'm serious. Those times, our parents felt that when you are into the creatives, it means you don't have wisdom, you don't have knowledge. But they do not rather know that a creative person is the one who has the most wisdom, not the PhDs, respectfully. We've all been through school. We've all have our credentials, MBAs, and all those professional certificates. I do have them. I don't regret them. But I would have been happier in the theater. And so I allow my kids. I'm a widow with 4 kids. I allow my kids to do what they want to do, and I guide them. Please, if your parents are not allowing you, come, let's have an engagement. Sometimes they do not know what career is going to come out of the course you are taking. There are parents here who don't know if your child does geography, what profession he or she would do. So they need career counseling. That is how come they frown on the courses or the trend we take. They all want us to do the business skills instead of the technical skills. So don't be scared. If it's your passion, we'll identify it together and we'll help you together with the consent of your parents, and you'll get there. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. I would really like us to go
There's
to...
a second part of the question that has not been answered.
Okay, go ahead.
Somebody who is multi-talented, who wants to best all the skills at once.
Yes.
All right. So there is grace, something you call grace. Just as we heard about the talents, to some he gave 1, to others he gave 10 in his wisdom. But to the one who has 10, he also gave a caveat. If you weren't using them, he could take them and give them out. And to the one who has 1, he can still take it because you are not multiplying it. So it is about intentionality. So your keyword is intentionality. He gave you the 10 for a reason. Trust yourself and bet all the 10 and run. Don't use worldly wisdom that says you can be a master of, jack of all trades, master of none. No, that is the wisdom of the world. But the Lord doesn't operate that wisdom. So if indeed he gave you 10, receive grace to run all 10.
Yeah, I told you earlier on, yeah, that I told you earlier on that I'm a musician, I'm an actress. I remember the first time I met Mr. Kowansa. He gave me a script, Akusa, you can do it. I acted, and recently, Taste of Sin, I was Majid's mom. When you, as she said, when you give me the script, I will do it, and it will blow your mind. One thing, another movie is coming out with Shelley Frimpong soon, very soon. So, and at the same time, I'm a judge. When you give me Bible, I preach. I've been preaching in churches. You understand? So if you have, if as you said, me, God gave me 10 and more, and I'm still searching. So when you have it and you know you can do it, my sister, come on, move and do it. Anything to ask me to judge, I will judge it. Good for you. When you tell me to MC, I'll MC. Performance, I like dancing. You know, there's a new dance, right? So, you know, I make sure I do everything. I'm a performer, I'm a singer, I'm an actress, MC, the marriage counselor, everything. So if you have it, my sister, use it because God has given it to you. And don't leave one behind, though. Use everything. Congratulations, my baby girl.
All right.
Thank you. Now we have a question from a man. Let's clap for him. Brave. Brave man.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Ohene Asante, and I think maybe I'm here for a reason. And before I ask my question, I want to share a story. I grew up from a rural community. Maybe you can call it a village. And I had my dad, I had my mom. Both parents are alive for now. But my dad was a little bit older than my mom, so he had an accident. And when he got into his old age, it caused spinal problems. So all my life, at GHS1 till now, I've graduated from medical school. I'm a practicing pathologist, and my mom took care of me. At a point in time, I didn't know what they say. It is a man's world, but it's nothing without a woman. And it's my mom. My mom and my sisters took care of me. And today I'm one out of 11 children as a graduate or having been to a tertiary education and being a doctor as well. And I share a story, then my sister is also here, one of my sisters from afar. And maybe you can learn from her, Rashida Musa. She's an AI engineer. We have men who are
Stand up,
computer
Rashida.
scientists.
Wave to the crowd.
Rashida is here. She's an
That is
AI
me.
engineer. Anything, everything you want to learn about artificial intelligence, machine learning, Rashida is here. Now, my question is, I think breaking barriers and learning what you want to learn is an issue of mindset. I read a book by a man called Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. And he says, everything you want to do in this world, start here. If here doesn't work, nothing works. That's why if your brain doesn't even work or you are not even mentally sound, you don't vote. And so I encourage my fellow young people or women to focus on developing their brain. Because what is creativity? God himself is a creator, how he created the world. And creativity is an issue of intellectual exercise. Being able to exercising your brain to the hardest core. My great woman, please, my question is, how do we get our young ladies to focus on building their mental capacity, given the fact that today we are in the age of social media and interruptive technologies? One message can come, you go to a platform, and by the time you realize it has stolen 4 hours out of your 24 hours. I think that our ladies should be able to focus and exercise their intellectual capacity. How do we get them to do that? Thank you.
Thank you. So I can already see Rosalind would like to answer. And a second person? Perfect. We have our 2 people.
All right. So I would use myself as an example. And it hurts me that usually in society, we just make up our mind that immediately your child is struggling, then, oh, this child, nitiabon, the child is blockheaded or something. And I'll use that to answer your question. So I wasn't good in school. I started reading at the age of 17. And everybody said I couldn't amount to anything. So when I failed the BEC, my parents were like, oh, you see, we say you are Kwalabone. You're a bad girl. You have not been studying. You're lazy. You see, you failed. So now maybe go and stay with your grandmother in the village. It took one boy who was just a year older than me to tell my parents, no, your daughter is gifted. What is she good at? He said, she's gifted with cooking. At a very young age, nobody had taught me how to mix ingredients to make fish pie. But I asked my parents to buy me the coal pot with the metal oven on. And I did my fish pie for my friends. And so whenever you come to the house, I'll just love to cook for you. And so this boy picked up and told my parents, she's gifted with cooking. Take her to a culinary school. And that is what saved me to be here today. What am I saying? In this day and age, I see a lot of parents, because you want time for for yourself, we just put gadgets in the hands of our kids. We are not paying attention to the interest of our children. And so we are missing out on studying their uniqueness, their unique talents. Back then, there wasn't internet. So I won't say that was what was distracting my parents. For them, what was distracting them is what society portray as your child is good. Is you go to school, you score on the score sheet first, second, and then that is when you are a good child. And so they were blind by it. But today, most of the parents are blind by what is going on. The internet, let me give that iPad to my child and let my child watch something. And so yes, it's good because it's technology. However, are you engaging your child in other creative activity to understand what does this child come to this earth with? And then we also tend to portray onto our children what we couldn't become. And so I want to be a medical doctor. So my child, I couldn't do it. So has to do that and do medicine. And so you push but maybe want to do fashion, want to design, want to do music, want to do other creative stuff. And these are high-paying jobs that we are missing because we don't develop them from that foundation to watch them. Now, everybody wants their children to play football. But first, football was like, what? You understand? So that is what I'm trying to say that let's pay attention to our little ones. Even when that child goes to school and not doing well, I said I'm the founder of Africa Dyslexia Organization. We champion awareness, advocacy, and provide teacher training around dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning difference. A lot of people in this country are dyslexic. Ochiame Kwame, Nana Ansako, Archbishop Duncan William, Denta Amwati. All these are people who were growing up, their parents are saying that they couldn't amount to anything, and they were missing out on the talent that is within them. So but the bottom line is, let's pay attention to our children. Let's identify their uniqueness. Let's support them. They can be a doctor, still be an artist. They can be anything they want, and they still can develop on their natural abilities. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to add a bit to what she said. In support of her, talking about getting time for our children, very, very essential. When I ended up being a single mother, I think one of the steps I decided to take was always be with my kids.
So I decided to get away these tablets, even TV and everything. You know, we had it, but I wasn't making it accessible to them. So we started building we were building a bond. We sit down, we chat, we laugh. Everybody was being free to talk to each other. Then one day, my daughter, who is right now in University of Ghana, she was in class 4. She came home from school. She said, "Mommy, there's a pastor's son in my class. He brings a laptop, and there are these obscene movies they've been watching. And I know you told me those things are not good." So I was like, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yes." So I went to the school with her. Then I went to talk to the headmaster. And I was like, "This is what my daughter said about this boy. So if you could silently investigate." First they were like, no, don't ever say that. This is a pastor's son. He can never do that. I said, "No, I didn't say act. Just observe. Let's see." It didn't take 2 weeks. And they called me to the school. They said, "Madam, it is true. He had series of," how do I mention it? Phone movies on his laptop, and he used to bring it for the friends to watch. So they had to call the father in. He just couldn't even believe it. And so the next thing that came from the headmaster, "Madam, how did you train your daughter?" I said, "It's not a matter of training. It's a matter of how I've related to her." Yes. So that thing is so up till today. I've given the kids tablets. They don't even use it because they are more interested in the chats and the laugh that we have in the house. Sometimes we even forget that there is TV, that we need to switch it on to. So we'll be there. They'll say, "Hey, Mommy, it's a long time we watch TV, and then we go and on a movie. And then we all sit down and watch." I think that thing is very, very, very necessary, because where the world is going now, if you don't take care, you won't know your kids. You will live with them, you will sleep and wake up with them, but you won't know your kids. It's very dangerous. Yes. And then talking about some of the solutions, I've set up a foundation, Padiki Arts Foundation, visiting these deprived areas where I talk on art, and then I also give the children the opportunity to express themselves. And seriously, I'm coming out with very great artists who are hidden in bushes, and nobody even knew. They even didn't know they had that within them, because they can't even get access to the stencils or whatever to use to do that. So I think, yes, we can all help to bring out these talents from the children. Thank you.
A quick one, and a brief one. Some parents don't even know what their kids are doing in school. They don't even know. I asked some parents, I said, "You know they are supposed to travel to maybe US tomorrow. You know you're going for your things for December. You know when your container will arrive. You know how much you're paying for the duty. But you don't know what your daughter or your son is doing in school." A lady called a friend, "Oh, there's graduation." He said, "But my son didn't tell me any graduation." And the son and the lady's daughter were in the same class. So she said, "Oh, maybe my son forgot to tell me." She got to the school only to be told that the son was not even coming for classes. But you see, what some of us do is we just send money. I'm also a single parent with 6 kids. I use my eyes to talk to you. When I do this, you have to be steady. I won't beat you up, but my eye alone will tell you that Mommy doesn't like what you are doing. You better stop it. So you saw how she looked at you. You understand? We always want our children to be happy. We want them to do some things that they are not supposed to be doing. So as the guy said, sometimes you might come from maybe the poorest home, whatever, but the upbringing help our kids to be and sometimes don't compare your child to somebody else's child, please. What they want born, Papa. This person's child is doing 90%, 100%. You are doing 40 and 30. Listen, the heads are not the same. Your child, look, as we rightly said, I was telling my sister, she said, when you want to go and play football, you tell her that's footballer people. You're a footballer. You go out and you play football. But now look at the monies they're making. So let's always talk to our kids, encourage them. The word is encouragement. That's what I want to tell you. That's how you can tell your child that, oh, you can do it. You are good. Hey, let me tell you something. What do you really want to do? Let's ask them what they want to do, and let's help them. But we shouldn't push what we want them to do on them. When I was a holy child, when you asked for Lizzie Yo, I was the one, me how been brutal. You understand? And because I composed the songs for us to go to intercore with it. Way back in school, I was writing music. So I don't know why my mom didn't. So I told my mom, maybe I'll do music. Oh. No matter, you see, and always make sure that you ask your children what they want to be. Some of us don't know what our kids are doing in school. If you ask, what is your son doing? Oh, hey, come. So what are you doing in school? You are not asking your child in front of your friend what he or she is doing. You don't even know. Please, let's be friends with our kids. Let's make sure that we know what they want to do so that we can give them. You go and see a child, 5-year-old, she'll be on the phone. Look, by 10, 11, the 5-year-old is still on her phone. I call her 5 years old phone. So please, let's help them to know what we can get it from them. You can see a child dancing, a child acting. Hey, stop doing that. You understand? Let's encourage them to be who they want to be. And I'm telling you, you sit up and say, oh, thank God, I have such a beautiful, such a handsome son, working and not smoking. I can see mad people. When I see mad people, say, yeah, 20 men in the 9 months. You understand? Because the mom was not there, the father was not there. We've left them to do what they want to do. They are doing what they want to do. Then when something happens, then the old lady that was sleeping when your son or when you're not minding them, she's sleeping. Oh, the minute you call the devil to come and say, okay, if you called me, I'm coming to continue for you. So please, let's be prayerful. Let's pray for our children. Wherever they are, let's pray for them to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right, so we have to wrap. We have a 6:15 final ending for this panel. But we have 4 people who want to ask questions. So what is going to happen is you're going to pass the microphone from person 1 to person 2. I will pass to person 3 and person 4. You guys need to pick one question only, so only 4 of you can answer it. Because currently we're only 15 minutes behind. We will finish up at 20 minutes behind, and we should just try to be quick with it, okay? Thank you. Right, so please ask your question briefly, quickly.
Good evening. My name is Nelfariwa Pels. Growing up, my mom is a single mother of 4. So I was basically living with my auntie. After BET, I wanted to pursue visual arts. And then like they all said, it's no good. So rather, instead of me going to the secondary school, they bought me a 4-sheet to stay at home to do my scribbling. Afterwards, I have to educate myself to where I am now. I'm a jack of all trades. Yes, I'm a media personality now, and I've been a nurse for 12 years. And I happen to be a single mother. My question is, I wouldn't like to repeat what my mom did to me.
Yes. Yes, it's good for us to be invested in our dreams. And actually, tears are always blessings anyway. Feel the feelings. Creativity requires you to feel your feelings and connect with yourself. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. Would you like a hug? We give free hugs. Look at gentlemen. Wow.
Let us speak, the question can be answered. We can assume her question. We can understand her question.
Okay, so I think the panelists can guess the question. So you can take a seat. Your question will be handled. Unless you can.
I'm fine, thank you. So my question is, I wouldn't like to repeat what my mom did to my little girl. how do I stand as a single mother who is in this trade without missing that family life with my girl? Because at a point in time, it affected both of us. She has to quit school because I have lost my job. And no family member wanted to help out.
Thank you. I think we can take the question from here. Please take, please.
So please, I really need your advice because I wouldn't like my girl to go through what I have. Thank you.
Sit in the front. Thank you. Okay, second question here. If we can have the questions really quick, otherwise we'll really run behind.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mawina. I have a question pertaining to the creative art industry. I wanted to know, for women that are now venturing into the industry, how do those of us that are already in there foresee the future of the creative art industry, especially for women? So what's the end goal? How is the evolving like for the future, so that we are coming in knows how to put our one-to-ones? And then the second question is, just one more.
I'm so sorry. It's just that the man next to her also has a question, so we can't. And we have, who's decided, who's taking that first question? You are. Who's taking this question? Rosalind, perfect. So your next question, please.
Good evening. I'm Henry, and I'm actually a TAF alumni. My question for the evening is, I'm glad we are talking about kids. How do we make the working environment welcoming enough so that young girls young women don't have to choose between having kids and their jobs? Because I know a few private businesses are having nurseries for nursing mothers and all that, working on longer maternity leaves, but it's still not enough, because a teacher in like Somanya doesn't have that. So when she gives birth, she has to choose between coming to class or nurturing the kid. How do we make it better?
Thank you. Who would like to take that question? Angela, sold. Perfect. Question number, I don't even know where we are now, but here you go.
Oh, okay. My son, 27 now, how would you handle a 19-year-old that has graduated from high school who tells you he's not going to college? I want to hear what you would have said. I know what I did, but what would you do? Thank you.
If you don't mind, I will actually answer that question. Is that okay? Yeah. Right. And then last, quick, just a question.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rashida Musa, and my question today is about breeding an ecosystem where creatives in Ghana can actually thrive. A lot of people like to say tech is actually pretty creative. We take code and we make products, we make services surrounded around that. And everyone always tells me, why are you working in Ghana? Why not go somewhere else? And I'm sure people in the creative sector get that too. So what can we do here in the space to build such an ecosystem so that creatives want to stay here, want to nurture the ecosystem here?
Perfect, thank you. So I would like to invite the guests, our panelists, to be quite succinct and to the point with this, because we do have networking coming up. So I think that is 5 people who should follow up with the rest of this during their conversation. Because mine is quick, what I will say to you is, as an associate dean, someone who works in education for 22 years, homeschooled my son, when he got to 18, I told him not to go to university. Exactly. Because I know education is a business. I know what we do. What we do is this. First, as the parent, we make you feel bad that you didn't send your child to our school. Then if you are strong and resilient enough, we make your friends make you feel bad. If you're still strong, we make your parents make you feel bad. And if you survive all of that, when your child gets to 21, we make their friends make them feel jealous. And when they survive even that, who do we get to do it next? Employers. Literally in my job, I build strategy and funnels of how to ensure people choose higher education. And that is exactly it. We do some marketing at parents, some marketing at wider family members, some marketing at employers, some marketing at friends to encourage their friends to move to uni with them. So the point I make is, unless that young person, your son, my son, has an actual interest in that space, they're better off doing what the wealthy do, which is taking time to understand themselves and understand the world. And when they have an understanding, going to university, because the best university students are mature students, okay? So that's my answer there, and I hope that that's been okay. Yes? Great, thank you. Who would like to go next?
So, my lady, I would first give you a hand of applause because you have started having solution to your issue already. To voice it out is the first step. I take people through therapy, I coach, I mentor. Psychologically, if you have been able to know that you don't want to repeat history, that is the first step. Now to the society, being a widow or a single parent is not a crime. We should stop stigmatizing. That is one of the issues. I am a proud widow. I work with a very big institution and I also have my own. My boss, anytime I want to play around, I will say, oh, God says you should be charitable to the widow. Then my boss will look at me up and down and he says, you can't. It means that they expect to see the mobro, the pitiful person. But I would tell you that you are the best solution. Have a change of mind that you have had now in this room, that you do not want your daughter to go through what you went through. You have had your solution. 2, sometimes to the women, the ladies, when we have issues with men and we are bitter, we extend it to our children. They are innocent. Please. They didn't ask us to go in. We willingly went in. If we are unsatisfied and we are not happy, respectfully, the children should not be the issue. So some parents will bring the aggression, the bitterness on the kids so they don't listen to them. It's good to listen to your child. Like she said, bond with your child. Identify what he or she can do. And then without having anything, at a very tender age, I emotionally made my kids stronger because my last child lost the father when she was 2 years. She's now 11 years. So it tells you that if you do not help her to develop psychologically, you won't be able to have that relationship. Let your child know you love her, which we need to do that affirmation every time. So when there are times you say no, the child will not look at it from a dislike point of view. And please, be interested not only in her education, but in the technical skills too. Auntie Stella says something, that if your child doesn't want to go to school, you can also manage it with the technical skills. Whatever his or her interest is, push it, and then he will also be doing what you want. So it becomes a win-win situation. Please seek counseling, because there may be questions that we can't ask here, but that would help you. So from here, let's engage. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you. You know, I guess, who's going to go next? Okay,
So I'd like to follow up from where she left off. If you are a career woman, you do not have answers to everything. There are those who have gone ahead of you. There are systems, there are safe spaces. So to make a choice between nurturing your child and then following your career, find out those who have been there. So we start off with counseling. Where do you place your value? What systems are available? What choices would I have to make? There are actual choices, there are potential choices. So even now, what is available to me, and then looking into the future, if I join this organization, would I be able to exercise these types of liberties? So it's a conversation. But there are those who have gone ahead, whose wisdom you can use to shorten your journey and to enrich your decision making. So counseling, and find mentors, find like-minded people, find safe spaces. But when we want to talk about governance, how do we create systems? It starts from the board. Finding who sits on the board, because the fish will always start rotting from the head. So if the board is useless, don't even engage. Whatever they offer, don't engage, because the board in any organization will create that strategic vision to drive the ship. So they will put in policies in place for management to implement, and not just put in place, but also have an ability to monitor to see if indeed they are doing what must be done. So it's a conversation. Let's have it. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Right, so we literally need to finish. So can I request 2.5 minute responses? So Rosalind, please first.
So the lady there asked, how can they thrive in the creative industry? I would just say, master your art. What is it that you are doing? Master it. Provide the best of the best. If you're a fashion person, I don't want to bring you my cloth. Come and there are some thread in it. Check from both the inside to the outside, making sure it is neat before you package it to your clients. Exposure. Ghana is one country. We have how many African countries? 54. We have over 100 countries in this world. There are so many things that is happening around us, not just in Ghana. The internet is there for you, so that means you don't have to stop learning. Another thing, network. Because your network will be the one that will share information about whatever that you are doing. Use the internet to promote yourself. And it comes back to mastering your art, because if you have something that you master, it will take you everywhere you show it, people are interested. The last one I will add, there are so many of them, but this very one is very, very important. Attitude. Attitude. For me, if you master your crafts, it's good as whatever, but if you don't have a good attitude to it, I am not going to buy into you. So your attitude will take you out. Your attitude will bring investors in. Your attitude will bring friends in. Your attitude will walk you through every door of the corner. If I tell you what attitude had done for me, just by simple, somebody is standing there so much, you holding water, you haven't drunk it, you say, hey, can I even offer you water? And that lands me in Walt Disney World to work there in the USA, just water. Attitude will take you very, very far. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, our last answer, and then we have to give them a standing ovation. But let's get the last answer. So I think that your answer will address how do we build the spaces for young people to grow that he asked, especially if you focus on what was the bigger question, how do we build the ecosystem here in Africa?
Okay, so I'm going to be, you asked because you are Ghanaian and you stay in Ghana, and I'm going to be saying that whatever applies in Ghana is also replicated across Africa, because we have not seen a lot of African work, especially in the tech space, come to fore. And if you'd ask me, I would say my experience is majorly because a lot of Africans have not learned the act of collaboration. Everybody wants to do me. everybody wants to do their own thing, and they have not learned that the more we put our hands together, our heads together, our skills together, we can do bigger projects. We can project to the world. You know, we see a lot of collaborative work from the, developed world, and just even a movie, for example, if you look at a movie from international communities, if you see the list at the end credit, they'll see the list of the people that, put even a letter. Everyone had something to do because everyone collaborated to make that project huge, to make it go all over the world. I think in Africa, we need to learn to collaborate with one another. We need to begin to not just build ourselves. In the building ourselves, let's take other people along. And then let's put heads together. You are in the creative space, I'm in the creative space. What can we do together? Because at every point in time when we are in a particular industry, our work connects. It meets somewhere. So everyone bringing in what they can contribute, and then we can put together a document. If trust is an issue, we should have a document to say, okay, we want to do this project. This is your work, this is my work, and then this is how, most of the time, the problem is the money. When it comes to money, they feel like I can't trust you, So, but I believe that if it is documented and everyone understands their work, everyone understands their share, their share of whatever it is that's going to come in, more people will be encouraged to work together. So, as in creative industry, as Africa is beginning to take in more technology, I think we need to begin to open our minds. More people need to open their minds to allow themselves work together. Because as one person, there's so much you can do, but as more, we can achieve way much more. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Round of applause. Let's stand up. Thank you very much. We need to thank our panelists. Thank you very, very, very much. I cannot hear the clapping. You need to clap for yourselves. You are amazing moderators. Look at you hosting a panel. Please feel free to take a seat. Did you know that you could host a panel before? Wow, I should get you all a badge. Well done, and thank you so much to our panelists. Please take your seats. Wow. I will say it again. I told you it was going to be a good evening, right? Has it been a good evening so far? Pardon? Lovely, good. Right, next, can I have someone come up and put the podium on the stage, please? Can I have someone come and put the podium on the stage, please? 2 people is fine if it needs help, because we just get luckier and luckier today. Our keynote speaker and guest of honor, Miss Gifty Auntie, is here with us, right? Clap. And she is going to continue the blessings of the evening by blessing us with her keynote speech. Can we please give her a big, long round of applause as she comes forward to the stage? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here. The theme is bridging borders and breaking barriers. And it's about women in creativity. To be a woman in creativity, actually you can't be a normal or regular woman to break barriers. You can't be. You need to be crazy. You need to be rebellious. You need to know your worth. You need to be determined. You need to stay focused. to be able to break barriers. There's creativity in everything. The way we eat, the way we talk, the way we learn, there's creativity in everything. I am the one you would call born rebel. Right from beginning, they say I wasn't supposed to be born. I'm accidental baby, but hey, exto, I came. Then they said nothing much would come out of me because I wasn't the regular girl. I was playing chaskele. Some of you don't know what chaskele is. I was using melting and melatonin to create cars and create baby toys and all that. And I've got the scars to show for it. Let me jump to when I first wrote my book, my first book, A Bit of Me. I needed a publisher. I went to a publishing house and I was told that that is not the format. Because in my book, I had Charlie, I had What's Up, I had LOL, I had all the things that were not considered proper English or proper way of writing. So about 2 publishing houses rejected me. So I self-published. And guess what? Within 3 days, I sold 500 copies. Within 1 week, that same book, A Bit of Me, became #1 on Amazon. That same book that they said did not follow the structure, did not follow the norm. Ladies, this is about women, so men, apologies. Dare to be the weird one, to be the odd one. Dare not to do what everybody else does. I'm a 54-year-old woman. And they say I don't behave like a 54-year-old woman. How does a 54-year-old woman behave? I behave like Gifty Auntie. That's who I am. And when I decide, I behave like a fear dancer. That's where the rebel is. And when I want to be really polite, I behave like Ohineyere. But even that one, they still have issues with it because they say I'm not a proper, I don't behave like properly. But I'm here to break barriers. I don't know about you, but I'm here to break barriers. I'm here to change the narrative. I'm here to create my own path. I am here to chart my own journey. I am here to be the Gifty Auntie of the world and not like somebody. I've heard people say that the opera of Ghana, there's only one Miss Opera. And there will always be only one opera. And there will always be one Gifty Auntie of this world. What do you want to be? Do you want to be like somebody? Or you want to be your own person? You want to chart your own path? Listen, when you start, they will not acknowledge you. They will say all sorts of things. And I stay here, I stand here, and maybe I should add to my CV, the most vilified woman in media. What hasn't been said about me? But I'm still here. Within 5 years, I've produced 7 books. And I'm about to release my 8th book in October. I used 2 days to write that book. My first children's book. Just from an incident. It just gave me. People told me, oh, you need to write a children's book because of, and I said, I'm not ready. But one incident that happened on the 10th of August gave me an idea to be creative enough to write my first children's book. Listen, you cannot progress in life. You cannot develop yourself. You cannot become an achiever when you are all broken. It's okay, but typical of women, any opportunity we get into this thing about, you know, my past, my this and my that. It is there. But listen, if you want your scars to be your stars, you need to start healing. Nobody is going to heal you. You need to heal yourself. The doctors may give you the injections. Some people go through cancer treatment. I mean, forgive me if anybody is going through that. And some beat it. Some survive. My mother had diabetes. Was the Trust Hospital. There were 6 in a room. Within 1 month, all 5 died. My mother survived 5 more years before she died. Why? Because she decided to be a fighter. Because the people around her decided not to let her give up on herself. Ladies, don't give up on yourself. Regardless of what is thrown at you. I'm sure you heard this saying over and over again, breaking through the glass ceiling, breaking through barriers. My dear sisters and mothers and daughters, if you need to break through anything, it is possible you will have cuts. You will have wounds. It's possible you will bleed. It's possible you will have some glass stuck in your skin or wherever it is. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay or you're going to push ahead? Or you're going to force ahead? This is not the kind of hairstyle I wanted today. But I decided to do. You know why? Because I started having some pain, or as they said, the hair follicle, something. So there's some pain there. My makeup artist decided, hey, let's create that crazy hairstyle and go. Somebody may see me and think that, no, it is a necessity. That is why I did it. And that has been my life. People know me for wearing beads. And now you go to Makola, there's the beads named after me, Giptianti beads. It was a necessity for me to start wearing beads. And then it became a trend. It was a battle for me to wear kente during my wedding. But I did. And now there's a kente named after me. What everybody sees as crazy, what everybody sees as not normal, what everybody sees as odd, if you believe in it enough, push ahead. The same people one day will come to you and ask you, how did you do it? My program, The Standpoint, now TSP with Gifty Auntie, when I started, first I'm a person with celebration. You know, what you don't get when you are growing, what your people don't do it, what your family don't do it for you, do it for yourself. Sweetheart, do it for yourself. Your mother is gone. Your father is gone. You have the opportunity to turn your situation around. You have the opportunity to start a journey, to start a movement. So I didn't have much celebrations when I was young. So every opportunity I get, I celebrate. Even if it's with Gary, I will celebrate. So the first anniversary of my program, The Standpoint, I was celebrating, and then people were saying, just 1 year anniversary of women's program. Women's program don't last. They don't do this. Ladies and gentlemen, The Standpoint is 16 years old and still going. And yes, we still talk crazy. Yes, we still break barriers. Yes, we still holistically empower women. Believe in it enough. One of my daughters, she calls herself the she mechanic. My own daughter says she wants to be a girl mechanic. No, her teacher made the mistake of saying that, oh, mechanical engineer. She said, no, Miss Jebila, I want to be a girl mechanic. I don't know what she thinks. Then she wants to be a pilot so that she can fix her own plane when it breaks down. Then 2 weeks ago, I took her to Mokola. She wants to sell cosmetics. It's okay. That's her journey, whatever she wants to do. I'm just here to tell you that you can break the barriers. You can bridge borders. I sit here, I go to places, and people mention my name across the world. Oh, the lady on TV, the lady this, I saw you on YouTube. That I don't know. My most beautiful experience was when in London 5 years ago, a bus driver stopped for me because he recognized me. And he was a Jamaican. And he has seen my show on ABN TV in UK. The world is no more, that large. The same social media you can use to bridge borders. The same social media. I am on Instagram. On Facebook, I have about 3, and I have 4 accounts. I'm on TikTok as well. It's only your Twitter or X that I don't really get it, so I'm not there. But I'm there on social media, using it to push barriers. I mentor people I haven't seen before from all across the world. That's the woman who approached me, who sent me a message from Pakistan, that she wants to translate my book, a bit of me, my first book, into Pakistan. What language do they speak? By their language. I don't know her from anywhere. So I'm here to tell you that it is possible. Don't look down upon it, regardless of what you've been through, regardless of your journey, regardless of your even current situation. This current situation that you are in can be, the propeller for your next level of greatness. You may not believe it, but that is it. I told my daughter it is not possible for her to. I haven't seen a pink dog before. She said it is possible. She said there is because she had seen it in a cartoon. So she wanted a pink puppy. And yes, she got a pink puppy. But should we tell her that it is dyed? Should we tell her that it is colored? She has a pink puppy. And by her getting a pink puppy, I have gotten the opportunity to write my first children's book. Everybody else benefits. Right here today, from what you heard from the panel, from what you heard from other speakers when I was not here, you can get to your next level of breakthrough. So don't give up on yourself. Don't belittle what you're doing. Everybody starts from somewhere. Life is a race, but ladies, run it at your own pace. You know the story of the turtle and the turtle and the hare. Yeah. I'm a late bloomer. I gave birth at the age of 47. But I am a mother. Some people in my age group have grandchildren, but I am a mother. I have grandchildren that are not my biological, so I am a grandmother. Let your story work for you. Let your life work for you. Let your journey work for you. They brought my books here. Let them work for you. And never, ever cow into submission. Let anybody push you into submission or into frustration or into whatever. Yes, we cry. That's, I think my sixth book, When Strong Women Cry. You will cry. Did you get your copy? Good. When strong women cry, we do cry. But guess what? We still get up and keep moving. We don't give up. This is room 5005, my COVID experience, which talks about the fact that you don't have to let your titles become you. Become your titles. If today I'm not Ohinere, does that mean I'm no more this person who can make an impact? Today, if I'm not on TV, does that mean I can't make an impact? Today, if I don't have my show, does that mean that I cannot make an impact? But this book showed me, will teach you that COVID showed me Pepe. Yeah, real Pepe. And then Broken but Beautiful, the title speaks for itself. This book, I wrote it 50 nuggets at 50. When I turned 50, I cataloged 50 of my experiences, my failures, success, school, background, mistakes, everything is in there. Just a learning care for anybody who is aspiring to be 50 and above. And then this is the best of you, Pearls of Wisdom. You know, it's a book of affirmation. And the Black Shallow Water. You know, I mentioned that I'm a late bloomer. And if you're a late bloomer, 47, everybody's hovering around you. Oh, you are so lucky. Oh, you are so blessed. Hey, how did it happen? But what they do not get is that it is tough to be a late bloomer. I'm menopausal. So a menopausal woman of 54 years raising a 7-year-old child who is a Gen Alpha, who knows everything, more intelligent than me. So these days I tell her I didn't go to school. Yeah, so it will save me, but it still doesn't save me. And also talks about the challenges of going through IVF, the search for a child, the desperation of women, the fear of having failed IVFs. Yesterday, I think what was on Tuesday, somebody wanted to do something, and I told her that, you know what? That child is a product of 5 failed IVFs. I had to go through 5 cycles. So if you mess up, I'll show you that I'm a Tama girl. Half from Fantif, half from Achim. I know how to do it. This one is just like a jacket. We can take it off. But she got a message, so we didn't get there. And this is a bit of me, my very first book that I told you about. You know, they are out there if you want copies. That's it. But that's not why I came. I only came to tell you that, yes, we can break barriers and we can bridge borders. The world is at our feet. The sky is the limit because the sky is limitless. Wherever you go to, you see a sky. As we stand here, we see a sky. When we are in a plane, the Abruchi people, when they are traveling, they see the sky. Those who go to the moon, they see a sky. So you never settle. Never. Don't ever settle. Beauty queens. You get the title, and then what next? Don't let the title become you. Become the title. Thank you, and God bless.
Wow. Wow. Wow, indeed. Yes, I agree. Standing ovation. Extremely necessary. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are being spoiled. We have been spoiled today. And you know what the funny thing is? It's nearly over, but till the last second, it will be amazing. So ensure that the energy is strong and the vim is consistent. Do you think I brought enough energy to this situation? Yeah? Have you felt appropriately hosted and moderated? Yes? Well, we're now moving into part 2, the final hour of today. And so my colleague, Natalie Fort, will take over for the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tanisha, for excellently taking us through the first half of this program. A round of applause for her, please. Now, as we get into the second half, which includes the honors, I just want us to take a moment to celebrate the entire team, because this is the maiden edition, yes, of Women in Creativity Africa. So, of course, Rev and Mrs. Sandra Okwei, the entire team, a resounding round of applause for them, please, for the brilliant job done. Now, I'm very much inspired, and I know we all are. Next on the list, we've got a woman who is a Ghanaian American film director, artist, and writer. She goes by the name Kukwa Ishan. She raises awareness about social issues and mental health through her writing and her film. Shall we celebrate her as she comes up to give us a few words? Pleasure. Over to you, Kukwa.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, I guess. I am so honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Reverend and Miss Sandra. And I'm so grateful to be among such incredible women. I'm so inspired tonight. I just want to share a quick message about how I found my purpose. And tonight I've heard so many women just, speak and touch on purpose. And a couple years ago, I met an incredible lady, Miss Freya, who is my mentor. And before I met her, when I was young, I was a troublemaker. Because I was very gifted with my hands. I can paint, I can draw, I can dance, I love fashion. So I couldn't fit in the box. I didn't know where I really belonged. I actually have my classmate here from 15 years ago. I'm sure she can tell you I was a troublemaker. But I grew up and I got into film, and I was, making films. I was doing all these things. And I met Miss Sophia, and she said to me that everything that you have, Kuko, it's so wonderful, it's amazing. You're winning awards, you're doing this, you're doing that. But she said, one thing that you're missing is purpose. You're gifted, but you're not adding the part where it must be purposeful. It can't just be gift. So my eyes opened to something that, no one ever told me. No one ever said to me that, yeah, it's okay to be gifted. It's okay to be talented. It's okay to have, skills and, do incredible things at a young age. But if it's not tied to purpose, it can't be sustainable. So she told me, she said, I don't think I've even said this to her before, but I thought of what she said to me as, you've been hired by God to do a job. So imagine if God hires you to do a job. That's why he gave you this talent. That's why you can make films. That's why you can direct. That's why you can do all the things that you can do creatively. And I was like, wow, that really changed my perspective, because I'm like, you don't even want your boss to be disappointed in you, right? Like, it's like you want to do everything to please your boss. So imagine if God hires you for a job. So that really opened something in my thinking and in me that I think as I stand here and I think about filmmaking and all the incredible things I've done, I'm always in the place where I'm like, wow, when I look back as a child, a lot of horrible things happened to me. I didn't get a chance to grow up with my parents. My dad has passed away. I met my mom when I was going into high school. That's when I moved to America. And just a lot of crazy things happened to me that I probably won't talk about today. But for me, until she said that to me and I heard that, I thought my life can only be great. I can only be someone powerful and important and, wonderful if my story somehow gets erased or rewrite. If I could get a chance and, I have a mom and a dad and, everything about my childhood is perfect, then I can be someone. I can't have the type of story that I have. I can't have a troubled childhood and then also have a success story. I didn't believe that until she said to me that, but you're purposeful. Like, God put greatness in you. your creativity is not just creativity, it's tied to purpose, it's tied to greatness, it's tied to God's gift, and it's tied to, you being someone important in society. And that, I was like, wow, this whole time, my whole life, I believed the opposite. I thought it was, I had to have a perfect life, and then I'll have a great future. So I don't want to talk too much, because I feel like so many incredible things have been said. I honor the women that came before me. But I just wanted to say that if you're young and you're here and you're gifted, this thing that my mentor told me, if it made a difference in my life, and I hope that it does too, that our gift is tied to our purpose, is tied to the greatness that God put inside of us. And it is, the reason why we're here. Like, she said to me all the time, she's like, Kuka, like, there's a reason why you're here at such a time like this, in this space, in this world, in 2024, why you're the age you are, why you like fashion. She even says, the reason why you're tall, the reason why you have these features, it's also purposeful. It's also that your destiny and your assignment can be fulfilled here on earth. So I wake up every day thinking about that, and I don't want to give up on my dreams. But yeah, I'm so grateful to continue to learn my purpose and to understand who I am as a woman, to grow, and yeah, to become the woman that God has called me to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing, Kukwa. Certainly, our purpose, right? And I believe working in the film and arts industry, sometimes we can get a bit soaked up in all the gifts and talents we have and not actually realize the bigger purpose that they would serve. So thank you so much to you and your mentor as well for sharing that. Now, we've got top organizations having supported us on this maiden edition. Fidelity Bank is one of those, and having joined us is Majori Kwanzaa, who serves as the Corporate Social Responsibility Coordinator at Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited, and she's going to speak with us for a few minutes. A round of applause as Majori comes up.
Thank you very much, Natalie, and good evening, everyone. I'm very honored to be here on behalf of Fidelity Bank. I met Reverend last year. I mean, when I got to know about Taft College and what they are doing for the youth, I was inspired personally, and of course, as an organization. We recently signed up to sustainability. So we set up a whole department to run sustainability for the bank. And our sustainability strategy is grouped into 3 pillars. So we have the sustainable finance, sustainable operations, and then corporate social responsibility, which I lead. And for our corporate social responsibility, we are very focused on supporting youth, women, and vulnerable communities, especially persons with disabilities. So it tied in neatly, and since then, the relationship with Reverend and some of the students from Taft College has been very, very interesting and engaging. So when Reverend spoke to me about the women in the creative arts and what we were planning to do, we got very interested in it. We were more focused in also supporting the young women in the trainings that are happening at Taft. So today I'm here on behalf of Fidelity Bank to congratulate the women in Creative Arts Africa for successfully launching today. I see amazing things happening, and I know that the relationship will not end here. We are still open to discuss further plans that can advance the cause of women in creative arts. And also to add, we have a young entrepreneurship program. Even though it is for 18 to 40 years, we extend it to 45 for women. So we are really focused, and we are really, really intentional about supporting women initiatives, all in the effort to advance SDG Goal 5 of gender equality. So we are happy to be here, and congratulations once again. And I wish you the best of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you too, and thank you to Fidelity for joining us on this, and we are sure that the bank will continue to support in all the years ahead. Now, the final inspiring speech before we make our way into the Lifetime Awards is going to be made by none other but Nosisa Doe. She's got 23 years of experience in television and radio industry, focusing on general management of television stations, quality management, systems creation, and maintenance. So, Nosisa.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to speak for just a minute to encourage those young ones that are in the room that are interested in the TV and broadcasting sector. I've been in the TV industry for 23 years. I've handled 13 channels watched in 3 continents. And I started as a receptionist. I started as a receptionist at Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation. I learned how to produce, learned how to edit, ended up as quality control and compliance as ZBC, went into cricket production, moved to Dubai, handled 7 channels, sports and family, moved to Ghana, handled ETV Ghana for 9 years, went to Dominion TV where we produced Taste of Sin with Akusia Ajapong, and I'm currently the head of Aquaba Magic at DSTV. I wanted to say to everyone that, you know, all things are possible in a so-called male-dominated space. There are times when we travel on production and there are 52 crew members who are men and there are 2 women. It was always me and 1 girl from Australia. But I was resilient and I managed to get to where I am today. The reason why I needed to speak today is because the founder of WICA, I've known her since I was 14 years old. And from high school, I didn't know we'd both be married to Ghanaians and that we would move to Ghana. And here we are today. I'm so proud of you and what you're achieving and what you're working on to encourage young women to break barriers. Because it is a tough world for women out there. And to see you 20, 30 years later from our high school days, to see you setting up this, I just wanted to congratulate you and Rev, and to thank every speaker that has spoken tonight. I'm so proud of you. And also to say that if WICA has a fellowship, if WICA has a mentorship board, I would love to be a part of that. For anyone in this room who has a question on anything to do with broadcasting, production, being a mom, being a musician, I'm a recording artist, gospel music. You can be anything you want to be, but you need to be curious. And I always say one mark of a leader is curiosity. If you're not curious, your world will be limited. And also, the hard skills can get you the job, but it's the soft skills that get you the promotion. It's the soft skills that open those other doors. Someone mentioned here about offering somebody water. It's the little things you do. I made a cup of coffee for a very, very difficult director. He's a difficult director to work with in sports production. And I realized he was losing his temper, and I just thought of making a cup of coffee. That led to a conversation about moving to Dubai when I wanted to move to China because I was studying Chinese. But it opened a door because I served somebody a cup of coffee. So I want to congratulate you, Sandra. I'm proud of you and your team, and to say that if there's any opportunity to mentor, to speak, I am available. My card can be shared today to any young person in the room who's interested in understanding this broadcasting sector that we're in. Aquaba Magic is the biggest investor in this country, in the Ghanaian creative economy. Last year alone, we had 20 shows and 12 movies. So we're always, always investing in the Ghanaian creative economy. And thank you for the opportunity to speak before you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing those. The soft skills is what gets you the promotion. That stood out to me. Thank you so much for sharing, Nosisa. Now, before we make our way to the Lifetime Awards, we've got our final speech. And that's going to be made by Ghanaian creative expert. She has a long profile, but of course, we don't have the time, right? So Nana Afriye Frimpong has made the country very, very proud as the only Ghanaian creative expert to work with Hollywood stars like Viola Davis and many, many more. The list is quite long. But Nana Afriye Frimpong, you certainly have made Ghana proud. Congratulations. Please do come up for a few minutes. A round of applause for her.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak to you all today. So briefly, I will just share that as a lifelong creative, a woman, born and raised right here in Ghana, how we break barriers and bridge borders starts with yourself, discovering like who you are. We don't really pay enough attention to that, and there's so many great things that we've learned from our mothers today. I just want to add this little bit, like Kukwa mentioned when she was on here. There's things that we don't know about ourselves that limit us. We want, as creatives, like we want to do the cool thing that people talk about. As I'm introduced, the fact that I worked on The Woman King is the thing that is exciting. But before I could become somebody who could work on The Woman King, I had to discover out what are my strengths? Why do I like to design? What does it mean to be a designer? Because when I was young, I knew I wanted to be a designer. And like the stories everyone said here, nobody encouraged me. Everybody was trying to get me to be a lawyer or something else. But inside of me, I knew that there was something, that I wasn't really like everybody else, and I wasn't happy conforming to the other structural ways. So by God's grace, I was able to study fashion design and in the US, and that exposed me to a different world. But even in that, I didn't realize there was something like costume design or film production, or there's a whole wealth of creativity that is not limited to the possibilities that maybe our Ghanaian community or environment will expose us to. So today, maybe you on TikTok or social media, wherever you are looking and you're trying to be like somebody, I'm just here to encourage you that if you feel you're a creative, you feel that leaning, get to know yourself a little bit. Expose yourself to opportunities to serve. For me as a Christian, like that's why I speak to her about purpose. God gave you those abilities for something. It's part of a story. It's not just so you can sew nice clothes or paint nice pictures. So when you get to know yourself a little better, what you find out is that you are very uniquely able to do things that nobody else can. Like there's nobody else in this world of 8 billion people that can do what you do. And when you enter a space, you make it possible for others to realize that, oh, they can do it too. And that you can be born and raised here in Ghana and work on Hollywood productions that before we didn't think was possible. But it's not because I'm special, it's just because I took the chance to discover myself and build my competence for the mastery. Somebody mentioned mastery earlier. You have to be good at your job, but you must know yourself. You must break the barriers of your own mindset, the limitations you put on yourself. That if I'm a woman, this is the only thing I can do. If I'm a Ghanaian, this is the only thing I can do. You have to renew your mind and understand that your value is inside of you. And that creativity makes you unique. And you can do the thing in a way that only you can and nobody else can do it. You have no competition but your own mindset. So as a young creative, trust me, the world is open for us. But you must break the barrier of your own limiting mindset, or like competing with others, or anything that doesn't serve that doesn't help you to love or serve others. Anything that is selfish, anything that is just, you just want to be famous or make money, it's not the best version of you. Always try to like be part of a bigger picture. See, how can my gifts serve? How can my creativity be used to contribute to something bigger? So that we can also here in Ghana, like somebody talked about how tech or creatives can have an ecosystem. I believe in that. But before you can join hands to become an ecosystem, you must break the barriers within yourself and remove selfishness or, anything that will limit you. So that's all I want to share. I know it doesn't sound so creative, but just know that you can do anything if you break the barriers within yourself. Thank you.
Great, very well said. Thank you so much. And it does sound creative, spiritual as well, actually quite deep, but thank you so much for sharing. Now, I'd want to acknowledge the presence of Madame Epois, that's the founder of Ebony Elixir. Give us a wave or stand. Thank you so much for being here and for having your organization support as well. Now, it's that time where we would make way for the highlight of the evening, the Lifetime Awards and Honors. And I just like to say, I think it's wonderful that we're having the networking session as well, because there are such leading ladies in the room. So the younger ladies here, don't miss out on the chance to speak with them a bit further. Now, the Lifetime Awards and Honors is necessary because we can't have such an inspiring, motivational event without celebrating women. And first on the list, she isn't seated here, but I know she's still with us, right? Oheneyere Gifty Auntie. Okay, wonderful. In all her glory. Now, we can't talk about media in Ghana without mentioning the name of Oheneyere Gifty Auntie. I have personally been and continue to be so inspired by this woman, and I'm sure many of us here are as well, both male and female. So thank you, Oheneyere, for being you. Honestly, thank you so much for being you. With a round of applause, and if you could take it a step further, standing ovation. Please be on your feet as we welcome Oheneyere Gifty Auntie. Serves as the first person to receive her award this evening. And going to present the award, of course, is Mrs. Okwe. A round of applause for her. She's the founder of this entire initiative. Please keep the applause going. From WICA, Women in Creativity Africa, to Oheneyere Gifty Auntie, a citation of honor. Please help her with the citation, Oheneyere. Thank you so much. Now, we've also got, she served as, starting off as hosting and moderating this event, Tanisha Tego. A round of applause for Tanisha as she comes up. A very impressive profile herself. Oh, okay, so I'm told you can please be on your seats. Thank you for indulging with the standing ovation, but we want to take photographs and standing blocks the photographer's view. So, but continue to clap, please. Tanisha Tego, congratulations for all that you have done within the sector and impacting women. A round of applause as she leaves the stage, please. Next on the list is Rosalind Abigail Trenate. And I couldn't help but be inspired by almost every word Rosalind said when on stage. Truly, your story is very, very inspiring. On behalf of Women in Creativity Africa, a citation of honor to Rosalind Nate. So we move over to Miss Regina Olafayo. Please spare me if I didn't get the name entirely right, the pronunciation. But Miss Regina, please do join us up on stage. Miss Regina Olafayo. I'm glad. And Regina served as one of our panelists as well, also sharing her inspiring story. A round of applause for her, please. We've also got on the list of honors and lifetime awards Eunice N.K. Darko. Eunice Darko, looking very elegant in one of her own pieces. Eunice, congratulations to you. Manya actually is what she goes by as well. Eunice, congratulations and thank you for your work. Another woman we are celebrating this evening is Alethea S.K. Glover. Alethea Glover also served as one of our panelists. A round of applause as she comes up for her citation of honor. Let's keep the applause, please. Congratulations and thank you too for your work. Now, Sharon Dede Padiki. Sharon also joins us up on stage for her honor this evening. Also served as one of our panelists. Please keep the applause going as she comes up for her citation of honor. Congratulations, Lydia Ashite. Lydia Ashite joins us as well, being honored and celebrated by WICA 2024. Please keep your applause going. Lydia, congratulations to you as well. Nana Afriya Frimpong. Of course, very well deserved honor there as well. Let's keep motivating her with a round of applause. Now, crowning off this list is Kukwa Ishan. Kukwa Ishan, congratulations to you. Thank you too for sharing your story. Once again, a round of applause for all of our leading ladies.
And the next citation of honor we would like to present is to yourself, Natalie. To Natalie Ford, award-winning news anchor and television personality. So many young people here look up to you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I am honored, really. I'm honored. Thank you. Now, we'd move over to a performance we have by a dance group called Glittering Art, the Glittering Art Ensemble. As we crown the evening, celebrate one another for the impact that we've made in the creative arts, media, communication sector over the years, and even the impact that a number of us are going to be making as well through the support of this organization, of Taft College, and all our sponsors. So please, a resounding round of applause for ourselves as we make way for the Glittering Art Ensemble. So the Glittering Art Ensemble are getting themselves all prepped up for us. Can we have the music to accompany their performance, please? Perfect, thank you.
Traveling with the spiritual, I was convinced my ancestral spirits lived in me. What indeed is reincarnation if not our earnest desire not to forget our past? Maybe I am still convinced my ancestral spirits live in me.
Amazing. Now, this is the sort of entertainment that I like to see. We need to see more of such, actually. Local traditional performances. Brilliant. Another round of applause for them, please. Glittering Dance Art Ensemble. Now, we've got a representative of the HACSA Foundation, Odamia, who's going to be sharing a few words as we bring the event to a close. A round of applause for Odamia, please, as she comes up. Thank you so much to HACSA for supporting.
Hi, good evening. Hey, are we tired? Good evening. How are we doing? How has the event been so far? It's been good. Great. So I bring you greetings from Ambassador Johanna Zwanica, that's the founder and president of the HACSA Foundation. And we are a 501c3 organization registered in the US and Ghana, and we focus on promoting youth development, helping women in technology. So we have a program you can see on your right, Tech for Girls, where we train young women and girls in coding, ICT, and soft skills. And we actually opened applications for the third cohort. So you can visit our socials and you see the application forms for you to apply. It's a free program. It's for 12 weeks. You learn coding, you do soft skills, and then after the program, we have internship opportunities and helping with mentorship and helping you with career guidance and all of that. And we are so excited to be partnering with Taft College and WICA. So we have Tech for Girls at the Taft College premises where our young girls go in there to study, and it's such an amazing experience. And today is one of the days that we were all looking forward to have Women in Creativity Africa conversations. And I stepped out a bit because I'm in law school, so I had a class. So I stepped out, so I didn't really hear a lot that went on here, but I believe that looking at your smiling faces, we had a good conversation, and we hope that women would continue to progress and we will see a lot of growth in Ghana and Africa and the world at large. Thank you.
Brilliant. Sounds exciting. Thank you so much, Odamia, for sharing. Now, all too soon, we have come to the end of this incredible maiden event, right? And as I mentioned earlier, Women in Creativity Africa is here to stay. It's the brainchild of Mrs. Sandra Okwe and, of course, Reverend John Okwe, who are walking the talk when it comes to supporting young Ghanaian and African talent in creativity and the arts. So please, a round of applause for them. Thank you to all the organizations who have joined us. Of course, you see it here, but just a second while I mention them. HACSA Foundation, ATB Trust Fund, Tech for Girls, of course, Fidelity Bank, Taft College, Kari, the Club G100, Glyco, Ebony, Elixir, Joy News, Republic Bank, and where we are gathered, the British Council. This is just the start of what is going to be the biggest event in this country when it comes to women in this sector. So please join us next year. We will communicate the dates, the time, the location. Thank you. You're already excited for what's coming up next year. And as we are rounding up, all awardees, please do, right out there, we've got a stand with a backdrop where you can take some photographs, network, have some finger foods, and let's keep the conversations going. Thank you once again. It's been an absolute pleasure co-hosting this gathering. Congratulations to us all. Have a wonderful evening.
And the queen seated on the throne. And the queen seated on the throne. We got the power, mighty that we know. We got success, riches, and make us glow. We light the fire now forever and wider. Come on to Ghana and Nigeria. We light the fire now forever and wider. South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia. We light the fire now forever and wider. Senegal, Uganda, Tanzania. Africa, hey, we going higher. No more
Music, please come down. Music, please. All right, please. We have the refreshments right here, so we can all go there and then have the refreshments there. Those that want to take the pictures, you can go take the pictures. And when you're done, please, you can come through here. Can you please look at me? I'm waving my hands. The refreshment is right here, so you can go there. DJ, you can start playing your music over there. Thank you very much. Not here, DJ. DJ here is over. DJ outside. Outside DJ.